For the first time in over a decade, Photoshop just got a huge overhaul to actions. All you have to do is type in exactly what you want and Photoshop takes care of the rest. Hey there and welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nason. Today we're showing you a brand new actions panel. As of now, this is only available in Photoshop's beta. But basically what it's going to use is AI to analyze your image and give you suggestions on what it thinks could make your image better. You can also simply type exactly what you want and choose from thousands of available actions that use all of the different features in Photoshop. Best of yet, these are using Photoshop's core tools, so you can go in after the fact and make any adjustments to make your images look perfect. So here we are in Photoshop's beta. The first thing we want to do is go to Window and then down here to Actions. Let's go ahead and turn these on. First thing, I'm going to just layer it right near like my layer panel right here docked, and you're going to see this Actions. Wow, this looks way different than we've ever seen before. You can simply search or type whatever you want. You're going to get some suggestions here, and based on your image, it's going to say generate a custom background. So let's say, okay, let's start with that. Generate a custom background. And here I'm just going to type in city. There we go, and hit enter. She's just in front of an ocean right now. So what's this going to look like when she's in a city? Well, who knows? I hope it's going to look good. There we go. And this is just using generative fill to put her in a few different city environments. And honestly, they look really good. Now, if we go to the layers, this is what I like about the actions here is that you can see it took my subject here. Okay. We have a city and a city background. It basically just like did all of the work for us to put our subject back into a city, and it looks really good. Let's go ahead and create a new layer here. Let's try a glowing highlights brush. Now, I've never used a glowing highlight brush in Photoshop at all. I'm like, how are they even doing this? Well, we can see it's selected our subject, and then I can simply paint over top of my subject to create glowing highlights, which is actually really cool. Let's deselect. I'm gonna see how they did this. Well, basically what it did is it duplicated my background layer. Okay, well, it actually did a stamp visible, so you can see the city here in this. It ran a camera raw filter that boosted the highlights and then made a selection, and I was able to paint over top of that with this brush. So I can go in and turn this layer off and on at any time. I can still go on this layer mask if I want, and I can paint it back visible where I want. And I can actually go into this, if I double click right into this camera raw filter, I could go in and see what it actually did. And you can see it just bumped up my white value and bumped up my highlight value. So this is cool because it's actually using core functionality within Photoshop to make all these changes. All right, let's keep going. I'm having fun. All right, let's see. Make the subject pop. That's a request that we get quite a bit, right? Make the subject pop, and here we go. Make subject pop. We're popping. Let's see what it actually did. So it used that exact same layer that we did the smart filter on. It added an outer glow to that subject. Look at that. And we have a camera raw filter making our subject a little bit brighter. That's something I would not have thought to do. So it selected the subject, actually made the subject a little bit brighter using camera raw, and added an outer glow. And I gotta say, it made that subject pop. If you don't like the outer glow, look at this. Boop, you just turn that off and you're good to go. But we got a pop subject here. So these actions, I'm actually having a lot of fun. Now we have some of these, if we just scroll down here, we have some of these featured essentials that we can actually work with. In this case, we have auto adjust levels. So let's go ahead and click on there. And honestly, these are working pretty good. Let's go ahead and see what we have available here. Let's just type in, as soon as you click there, it's going to give you some interesting options. Select the subject, remove the background, enhance the color, crop the image, make it pop. I love they added a make it pop button. But let's just type in, I want to type in vintage. There we go. And we're going to see we have a vintage instant look we could click on. Okay, there we go. And we might have to create a new layer there. Okay, so for the vintage instant look, let's try to make a new layer and see if it does it now. There we go. So sometimes you're going to have to make a new layer for some of these to work. Let's hit undo there. This might actually be pretty cool. Vintage paper texture overlay AI generated. So for this one, let's go ahead and create a new layer just on the top of everything. I want to see what this does. Vintage paper texture overlay, which is going to be AI generated. I like that it says it's going to be AI generated. So this vintage texture, it's going to create, it's using generative fill, just like we've used in the past. It's going to create a couple of different AI overlays. And then check this out, like literally, this is an AI overlay. We have a layer mask on it. You can see my blend mode is set to multiply. I can still turn this off and on at any time. And then if I want to, I can just take my opacity and lower that down. So these are not effects that are like applied to the image and then you're never gonna be able to change this image. This is all built on Photoshop's core functionality. In fact, if I hold Alt or Option and go to background, this is the image as I loaded it into Photoshop. So I can literally go through and turn each one of these layers on and see what we did, well, what these actions actually did, making it pop, some outer glow on there. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. And then we have this vintage overlay. Let's go back to the actions and we can see all of these different, a light leak overlay. Why not? Let's create a new layer here and let's go to a light leak overlay. It's actually a lot of fun. Now, if I was a brand new user in Photoshop, I would totally be digging this actions panel because like a lot of the time you don't exactly know what you want, but to be able to just simply type it in, I like that one. And you know, again, this is just an AI image that's an overlay set to a screen blend mode, and I can simply lower down my opacity and make this look better. All right, I want to say like brighten my subject. So I'm gonna just say brighten. There we go, and hit enter. And then we have brighten the image, increase the exposure, photo repair. Let's see if we have like brighten. All right, I want to brighten my subject. We have all of these different things. Let's just say brighten, and I want to say subject. There we go, getting results, okay. Well, we have make the subjects pop, okay. We have portrait brighter right over here. Okay, cool. So portrait brighter, let's go ahead and apply that. And we can see, yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to do. It did make the whole image brighter, but I just wanted my subject to be brighter. All right, so let's just say, I'm gonna type in subject and see what we get. Select the subject, move the subject to the right. That's an interesting thing to be to have in here. You can add a strong blur. The background, is that gonna be using like Adobe Camera Raw? Let's try that, strong blur background. This just kind of like allows you to play around. Okay, it needs a visible layer. So let's go ahead, choose on the top of everything. I'm gonna hit Shift Option Command E to make a stamp visible layer. Let's go ahead and make it a smart object too. And then we're gonna go to, where did you said? Blur. Let's just go ahead and type in blur. Strong blur background, okay? And I wanna know what technology this is gonna use. I hope it's gonna use Adobe Camera Raw because that has the best. There we go. This is using a Gaussian blur on the background. Okay. It's not my favorite way of doing this. Let's just hit undo a couple times because honestly, I think that this should be using, it should be using the blur that's in Adobe Camera Raw because honestly, it's just a little bit better. Let's type in focus and see if that works. All right, so type in focus and we're gonna go to, this is a lot of fun. I think that the blur stuff definitely should be using the blur from Adobe Camera Raw, which is also in Lightroom, because it just, honestly, it works a lot better than a Gaussian blur. Gaussian blurs always look a little bit fake, in my opinion, but yeah, it looks like it's just gonna use a Gaussian blur for now. Okay, but it's a new feature, it's still in beta, so obviously it's going to have all kinds of new things, like strongly decreased image haze. You know, this is gonna be using the dehaze feature, lightly sharpen the image, add a gentle contrast, S-curves. This is actually pretty cool. There's a lot going on here. Like they put a lot of work into this because everything that's done, like obviously, like, you know, the developers had to go in and program all of these things for us. Now we can sort these. You can have yours as well. So you can have like, these are your own actions. So this is like the traditional actions that we've been able to create. So don't worry, like if you're a person who likes your own actions, they're still here. You just have to click on yours, which I think totally makes sense. So let's go back to suggested. There we go. And then, you know what, based on your image, here we go. I just want to click on this little reload icon and I want to see what it's going to tell us now. All right, choosing relevant actions, creative lighter sepia, retro film look overlay, colorful lights overlay. I like this retro film overlay. Let's click on this. Honestly, this is kind of fun. Like, not that Photoshop isn't fun normally, but this is a kind of a cool way to edit in Photoshop. It's kind of just like click and see what you get, but you still get all the functionality and you can go in and play with it after the fact. And I feel like if you don't always know exactly what you want to do with your image, these actions are a great place to start. Not only that, but it's my personal hunch that these actions, I think it would actually be really cool if they kind of just moved these into the contextual taskbar, you know? So with the like if you go to window and then you had your contextual taskbar, it would be kind of cool if you had these actions right here. Basically, if it just had like suggestions of what to do with your image, rather than knowing you have to go into actions panel, because the contextual taskbar is kind of really integrated into Photoshop now. And I feel like this would be a great place to put it. And in my step, if we wanted to take this one step further, they would add like a large language model to this, kind of like ChatGPT, where you could just say like, you could literally type in remove the background and it would do it, or like change your eye color and it would do it, or, you know, whatever it is like that. Like, I think that's kind of like where they're building onto, but this is it's a really cool step. It's one of those features. Like, I know there's a lot of new stuff coming into Photoshop and a lot of it is super AI heavy and a lot of it we're like, I don't know, is this really good or whatever? But this is one of those where I'm actually a fan and I'm curious to know what you would think, because here's the reason why I like this. I'll tell you, is because yes, it just gives you in plain words, like what it's actually going to do. A lot of these give you a little preview. Like if you have this eye, I keep hovering over it, it keeps moving. But if you have this little eyeball here next to the screen, you actually get a visual preview of what it's gonna look like just by hovering over it, and I appreciate that. But the thing that I like most about this, all in all, is that if I go to my layers, I can just see exactly what's been done. So this is not just like I have my image and then boom, magically it's this whole other image. I can see what's been done and I can turn all this stuff off and on at any time if I want to. I can go and I can change the blend mode, the opacity, and I can really make it my own. So yes, it's using a lot of AI to get me there, but I feel like I have a lot of control over that, and that's what I really appreciate. So again, this feature is in beta, which means they're still testing everything out. Of course, it's going to get better. It always happens by the time it gets into the full release, but I'm curious to see what is your reaction to the new actions here in Photoshop. And if you're a traditional Photoshop user, don't worry, those traditional actions are still available. Just click on that Yours tab. I'm having so much fun with this. I think it's an absolute blast and a big step in the right direction for Photoshop, but I wanna know your thoughts. Let us know in a comment right down below what you think. For me, I'm a big thumbs up. And if you enjoyed today's video, give us a big thumbs up here on YouTube. It helped out a ton. And if you wanna learn more advanced Photoshop, photography, Lightroom, we're talking about thousands and thousands of hours of advanced tutorials, check out Phlearn Pro. We got an exclusive discount for you. Just click on the screen or the description right down below. You can sign up and start learning today. Thanks so much, and I'll Phlearn you later. Bye, everyone.